Why 10,000 steps? Why 30 days? And why before 9 a.m? In this video, I'm going to go over all those details and the benefits this challenge gave me. So let's start with 10,000 steps. I chose 10,000 steps because I looked back on my phone at the last 6 months of data I had, and my average steps was between 5,000 and 6,000. So I thought by just doubling it, it would be achievable. I didn't want to go out there with a stupid goal like 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 steps a day, because A, it would have been a massive change to what I was already doing, and B, I don't think it would have been sustainable for a long period of time. So I went for 10,000 as I didn't think it was too much of a step up from what I was already doing, but it was enough of a step up to be a challenge. So it's always good to look at previous data before you put any like targets or goals in place, because there's no point plucking out like a random figure or a random like target and going for it, because it's not going to be sustainable. For example, people that like wake up at, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning, and then one day they think, right, tomorrow I'm going to wake up at 5:30 and I'm going to wake up for 5:30 for every day for the rest of the year. It's not about doing something drastic. It's about making small changes that you're going to be able to accomplish, and then that has a knock-on effect. So if you wanted to wake up, if you're waking up at 10 o'clock in the morning and then you decide, right, from now on I'm going to wake up at 9:30, and once you've done that for a little bit, from now on I'm going to wake up at 9. It's like very, very small steps over a long process that makes the difference. It's really, really hard to go from one extreme to the other and make it sustainable. So that's why I chose 10,000 steps. And if there's something, if it's something that you're looking to do, maybe go back on your history for the last 6 months. And if you're, I don't know, if you're at 10,000 steps, maybe make it 15,000 steps. If you're at like 2,000 steps, maybe make it 5,000 steps. It's all about like small progressions rather than the extremes. So why 30 days? Honestly, I have no idea why I chose 30 days. It takes on average 66 days to break a habit or to implement a new habit. So 30 days was pretty random, but it was kind of like a rounded number, like a month-ish was a good place to start. So that's what I did. So that's why the 30 days. And why before 9 a.m? So I put the 9 a.m. rule in for the days where I didn't have anything planned. So if I had hikes planned or bike rides planned, or like days out where I knew I was going to be doing a load of steps, it wouldn't matter if I didn't complete the 10,000 steps before that, because I knew I'd get it in the day. But what I did do is, when on the days that I didn't have anything like adventurous planned, then I would aim for as many steps as possible before 9 a.m. So not necessarily hitting 10,000 before 9 a.m. Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. It was just about getting the bulk of it done, 80% of it done. So then for the rest of the day, if I was working on the laptop or doing stuff like that, I didn't have to worry and get to the end of the day and think, oh my God, I haven't done my 10,000 steps. There was one occasion where this happened, which I'll explain further on in the video, but it was like a cap to make sure that like most of it was done before 9 a.m. So the benefits of this challenge. Benefit number 1 was just being outside. Being outside for long periods of time roughly takes about an hour to an hour and a half to do 10,000 steps. And there were days where that was just the main goal, just to get outside and do the 10,000 steps. But there was a lot of days where we went on hikes, swims, mountain bike rides, and generally just exploring Dartmoor, because again, this was most of the time we were stuck at the garage. That was what benefit number 1, being outside. Benefit number 2, I was actually seeing a progression in my fitness, like, and this for me, to see the progression from like day 1 to day 30. It wasn't a massive progression, but it was that sort of progression where you could see the start of a change. I didn't lose, I don't know if I lost a massive amount of weight. I didn't track anything like that. I didn't track my weight loss. I didn't do anything like that. The main thing I tracked was making sure I did 10,000 steps a day. But I could feel myself getting fitter. The walks were getting easier by the end of it. So that's benefit number 2, the progression. So benefit number 3 was I was already looking forward. So in my mind, even before the 30 days were up, I was like, right, I've got this. I've got this. So when the 30 days is up, what am I going to do next? What am I going to implement next that is going to help me to continue this progression? Benefit number 4 was it allowed me that time and that space to be in nature, to be with my thoughts, and when I wasn't thinking about the nature and wasn't thinking about the thoughts, I was listening to audiobooks. I'll link down below the audiobooks that I listened to in that period of time. Benefit number 5 of this challenge for me personally is I always say I'm going to do things and then I start and I never finish. And that was one of the things that I really didn't like about myself. I wanted to do it, but there would be so many factors that would stop me from finishing it. Be anxiety, like fear of failure, all of those like self-sabotaging things that happen. For me, benefit number 5 was actually finishing the challenge. And there was the difference from now to the past is my mindset. Mindset is massive when you're doing anything like this, because when you're feeling motivated, it's easy. When you're not feeling motivated, that's when the mindset needs to kick in and you need to go out and do it. There was one day within this 30 days where I almost didn't complete the day. It was the day that was the hottest day of the year. It was back, I think it was like July, I don't know, the 18th or 19th, around that day. And it was like the UK had a massive heat wave, and I got up in the morning really early to walk Max, who is over there at the moment, because I knew it was going to be too hot to do anything in the day with him, and I couldn't leave him in the van because it would be way too hot. So what we did is we spent the whole day in the van with the doors open. He had his cool mat, and he spent most of the day laying underneath the van on his cool mat. I spent most of the day laying in the van, sweating my ass off, thinking, oh my god, I should have just stayed in the woods and by the river for the day. Why did we come back to the van? That was my thought process. Anyway, the morning we went to a swim spot, and I don't know, maybe got 3,000-4,000 steps in for the day, maybe a little bit more. And it was way too hot to do anything in the day. So 10 o'clock at night, I was walking around the garage for a good, I don't know, half an hour until I hit my 10,000 steps. But it was that mindset. It was that mindset that I had that was like, no, I need to do the 10,000 steps. If I don't do the 10,000 steps now, all of that hard work that I've done in the last 20 odd days will be null and void, and I will have to start the challenge again from zero. Having this tracker and having the line and I find that really something that's quite a powerful tool, because you look at it and then you know at the end of the 30 days, if you think at the end of the 30 days there's one thing that's not over that 10,000 mark, then you've messed it all up. So I kind of like that. It was good and a bad thing, because as you can see, the end of July, I have 2 days where there's nothing on there, and that really took some work to actually be like, right, no, now I need to just put my phone down and not track things. It was when me and Emma went and spent the weekend camping at the woods, and there was no signal, so we left our phones, which was amazing and really nice. We just left our phones in the hammocks all day, just enjoyed the woods. And that was, for me, was a thing in my head that I had to be like, right, no, now it's not about tracking stuff, because you know you can do it. It's just about implementing it daily without feeling the need to have it tracked. So that was that was quite that weekend. I remember the feeling of not gonna get to that 10,000 steps, even if I did the 10,000 steps, because we did a lot of wandering around the woods, a lot of work in the woods and stuff. But it was for me saying, no, I don't need this now to tell me that I've done 10,000 steps. I can do it myself. Overall experience was challenging myself, getting it done, and just feeling better about myself in the mind and the body. And then it leads to the next step, which I will go over in next week's video.